always been one of my favorites, and to me it's a blues.
Dear Mr. White, we're missing you tonight. The way you used to sing the blues. It's been way too long since we heard that gravel tone, sound that fills our head down to our shoes. That warm and friendly smile, your easy laid-back style. Yeah, we're missing you tonight, Mr. White. Your music lingers on, in spirit and in song. The notes, they never die or fade away. You were our gadget man, our cool gadget man, and here within my heart you'll always stay. I wish that you were here just to hear the people cheer, 'cause we're missing you tonight, Mr. White. It made me cry when you left with no goodbye. Yes, life can be so cruel sometimes, but I know that you're still there in some smoky bar somewhere, telling jokes and tales along with your lines. With your guitar on your knee, won't you play a song for me? 'Cause I'm missing you tonight, Mr. White. I'm missing you tonight, Mr. White. Oh, yeah.
I have to say, absolutely wonderful. Liz MacEwan singing live there.
Thank you.
The title of the track, sorry, is
Dear Mr. White.
Dear Mr. White, and it was written by a dear friend of yours as well.
Oh, absolutely. Bobby Heatley, great talent.
Bobby Heatley, who is actually my second guest on the show today.
Wonderful.
He's not here yet. Because he's
Okay.
probably got lost, because everybody does. But
Okay, he's got some tales to tell.
He's got some tales to tell.
Absolutely.
Now, again, you've worked with all these big people, and it's taken you all over. You were telling me in the break there before you started singing that you had a wee trip on a boat for 6 months.
A big boat, the QE2.
The QE2. So you were resident on the QE2.
Absolutely, very proud of that. I used to work with a very good piano player called Colin Mitchell.
Mm-hmm.
Him and I used to go out and do cabaret together in clubs, etc. And we worked for MK Agency, so they sent us to all the nooks and crannies in the whole of Scotland. Anyway, we had a wonderful time together, and he went away on a cruise, and I was devastated. And when he came back, he said, I'd like to go away again. I said, well, I would really like to do that, because I'd just come to the end of our relationship, and the Tam White thing had finished, and it was just a really bad time for me. So we had to go down and audition. And this is a funny story. We went away down to Bournemouth to meet the agent, and it was just us, just a duo. And on that night, the band that were resident on the QE2 had been put off in New York. There was some talk about drugs or something. I mean, they just wouldn't put up with that on the ship, no way. So they were ordered off, and that was it. So now they're short of a band, and there's just a duo. So they got us a bass player and a drummer in from London who we hadn't met. And we had a quick talk in the Loos. Now, when I'm talking about Loos, I thought that we'd be going to a big famous hotel somewhere to do this audition. But it was a scout hut in Poole in Dorset, right? And they had baby toilets, you know. So, I mean, I'm 5'9", so you can imagine me sitting on a baby toilet. Anyway, I got changed and we did a quick run through and we went as if we were a band. And we just went on and did our rehearsal, did our audition. And unbelievably, they said, yeah, you'll be fine. They were in a hurry to get a band, and these were session musicians, so there was no problem about rehearsing. So about 5 days later, we found ourselves, you know, on the plane out to Fort Lauderdale and joined the QE2. And when I actually first saw her in dock, I burst into tears because she was so amazing and so huge. I mean, just so massive.
Yeah.
So that was the start of a wonderful time.
One of many proud moments in your career.
Absolutely. We went to Bermuda, we went to New York, we went up to Norway, Sweden, etc. And Colin Mitchell, he went back for two, I think a world cruise and another trip, and he joined the big band. There was always a big dance band on the QE2. So, and then he married a singer and moved away to Devon, so I lost him. But good news was that Jim Condy got in touch with me and asked me to sing backing vocals with Van Morrison. So that was Fife Aid.
You're a name dropper, you.
Well, you know, these things are highlights for me.
Oh,
in my
definitely,
life.
definitely.
You know, and there's nothing wrong with doing the bread and butter gigs. Absolutely. You know, at the time I was in the Telecoms Club singing with the resident band there, and I had to get the weekend off, which the committee weren't too happy about. And I said, don't be silly, I've got the chance to work with Van Morrison.
For those of a certain age, maybe only still be a few people that remember the Telecoms Club. It was at Gorgie Road.
Absolutely, it was a great pub.
Then it was
and club.
Then it was a tool hire place after that. It was a shame. It was a
know,
shame. And in fairness, you know, just to touch on that, it's a shame that we've lost so many of the big clubs.
Big clubs, I know.
The Tartan Club.
Well, I was resident in the Tartan Club. Dave Swanson and Bob Heatley was on piano.
It's the first place I played with Bobby years ago. Yes. So I mean, all these big clubs, to lose them, but some of the smaller clubs as well, you know. And it's sad to see that people don't use the social clubs and the working men's clubs and stuff as much as they did.
Well, coming out this way, I mean, I've done all the clubs in this area, all the clubs in Fife, we Lumfinnins, and you know.
That sounds like a disease.
Absolutely, you know. And it's just great memories, you know, and good to do. And things went wrong, and you know, sometimes you arrived and there was 2 or 3 bands parked outside, and you had to fight with who was actually going to go on because the agent had booked 2 or 3 bands. But it was all experience, isn't it?
Yep,
and it's something to talk about, and it makes you, you know, a better person, I think. So
it's a learning curve.
Absolutely.
Now we're going to play your final track that you brought in, which is Let It Snow.
Let It Snow. The reason that I've brought this along is I am going into the Jam House, if you'd like to come along for your lunch. Jam House in Queen Street, from 12:30 I think till 4 o'clock. They're putting on lunches, and myself and Laurie will be playing, and we'll be doing some Christmas songs, some pops and some jazz.
When does that start?
That starts on the 30th of November.
30th of November.
Yeah.
Well, it's a wee bit early for a Christmas song, but hey, who cares? I'm in control.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. It doesn't show signs of stopping, and I bought some corn for popping. The lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. When we finally kiss goodnight, how I hate going out in the storm. But if you really hold me tight, all the way home I'll be warm. The fire is slowly dying, and my dear, we're still goodbye. As long as you love me so, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. when we finally kiss goodnight. How I hate going out in the storm, but if you really hold me tight, all the way home I'll be warm. Fire is slowly dying, and my dear, we're still goodbying. As long as you love me so, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
How very, very Christmassy.
How very cheesy.
Yeah, I've just had somebody come in and slap my wrist for playing a Christmas song.
Oh, well.
Oh, not to worry, not to worry.
Thing is, it's coming anyway, isn't it?
It certainly is, whether we like it or not.
That's it.
Whether we like it or not. Well, thank you very much for coming in today and
Thank
bringing
you.
your music in, and can also say thank you very much for your live singing. It's not the easiest environment to do it.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
But we have heard reports that have said that it's been absolutely fantastic.
Thank you, that's lovely.
And from a man with a good musical ear as well.
Absolutely. Was it Bob Heatley by any chance?
It was.
I can spy him.
Yes, he's through there. He's got his entourage with him. He's got all his stage crew and everything. Now, you're doing something else on the 2nd of December.
Very important. 2nd of December, Jam and Jar, and it's for the children in our area, and that's why we support it. All the Edinburgh musicians go along. In fact, we've got 15 different bands going to the Voodoo Rooms, starting at 4 o'clock. Tickets are £12, and they can be purchased from the Rayburn Bar in Stockbridge or online on Facebook. If you look up Jam and Jar, Norval Barclay is getting it together. This is the first time, but since 1994, the O'Brien brothers, Colin and Paul O'Brien.
Do you know, I'm just going to say,
Oh no.
Colin was supposed to be on the show this afternoon.
Oh, okay.
And he's had to call off sick, unfortunately, so we wish him the very best. He should be alright for the 2nd of December, but he's got a bit of cold.
Oh, okay.
But old friends of mine that were brought up around the corner, went to the same school and stuff.
Great guys.
Great guys.
Absolutely.
And Bill Barclay will be presenting
Bill
it as well.
Barclay, exactly. And Fiona, my daughter, who you might have heard a week or two ago, who was singing here, Fiona MacEwan, she's on with Ian Pettigrew. Lots of fabulous bands, and it's all live, and all the bands play for nothing. We have great raffles, and all the money goes to the Teapot Trust this time. Teapot Trust, and it's for
Which
children.
is the Teapot Trust?
Children's charity for children with cancer.
That's brilliant.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. Liz, you do a lot of charity work. You do a lot of stuff, which is very, very good to see. I also do my bit, I've got to say.
Absolutely, you do. Aye.
But you know, it's all in
Good stuff.
good stuff,
Giving
you know,
something
and
back.
it's good. It's good because also the other thing is it gets all the acts and musicians and singers all together.
That's right.
Which is an opportunity for everybody to work together because it never really
And then
happens.
they never see each other, and they're all sitting through in the green room chatting, having a wonderful time, and then they meet up, and bands are made out of, that's what happened with the Haiti show.
Yep.
And also the one at the Jam. Just to say, in March, I'm going to be doing another big charity, and I've got the Asps, who are a wonderful band. A young band that are really exciting, and they've already signed up for it, and that'll be in March sometime. So I'll come back and tell you about it.
Well, you can come back and tell us all about it. And if people, in the meantime, if people want to get in touch with you through Facebook's probably the easiest.
Yeah. Liz MacEwan, MacEwan.
Well, thank you very much. Well, it's been wonderful to chat to Liz. I'm going to play out a wee bit of Edwin Starr, and then after that we're going to get organised, and we will be speaking to Bobby Heatley. So thank you once again, Liz.
Thank you.
It's been absolutely wonderful, and we'll look forward to very best of luck with Jam and Jar, and we'll look forward to getting you back in March.
Thank you very much.
Happy Radio.